Jeff, winding down here camp, a warm one out there today, wasn't it?
It was all early today, no doubt. Luckily, we were in helmets, so it wasn't terrible. But yeah, it got on us pretty quick.
How do you guys balance, when to put the helmets and go a day hard versus when to take it off? Is it like a daily thing? You just look at it?
The NCAA gives us some parameters, but just in my experience of doing this for a long time, that the routine during the week is a good routine. So we try to stay with that as much as possible. Usually on Mondays, it's a learning day for us in the season, so we try to be Mondays helmets. Tuesdays are usually our first padded practice of the week, so we try to do shells. And then Wednesday we go full pads, and then it's a rinse and repeat for us. We'll go Thursday again like a Monday, we'll go helmets. Friday will be shells, Saturday will be our scrimmage, and we'll be full pads. So that's kind of what we try to do. But like the other day, we had 8 offensive linemen injured, and we were going to scrimmage, so we had to change, right? So there's always, common sense always prevails over all policies, in my opinion.
Jeff, you mentioned the O-line there. It seemed like there weren't a few guys out there. What's the status of those guys?
No matter what you do, you can go thud, you can go tag, you can go helmets. Some linemen, they still hope they're banging, and you got to take care of them, right? So we've got some shoulders, we've got some just nicked up stuff that, of the 8, 6 of them will be back pretty soon. The other 2 would be out probably for some significant time.
Has it had any impact on the left tackle competition, or where does that stand at this point in the fall?
We're still battling. Whenever there's injuries, it affects every position because it's a domino effect, and you got to move people around. So, still great competition yet. There, we're not ready to decide yet who's going to be that starter, but that decision's coming, pretty quick. I think we're 16 days out now.
Demetrius Allen was telling us last week that he's kind of ramped up his preparation in the offseason, knowing he had a chance to compete. Have you seen anything different from him compared to previous years?
No, Demetrius has been fantastic. You can tell he's really wants that job, and that's why it's good to not tell him if he's won it or he hadn't won it yet, because he keeps working.
Has any position group at this point started to really kind of clear out, like, okay, we kind of really have an idea of what we're doing here, depth chart wise, or is every position group still?
I'd say, almost every one of them, we've got a pretty good idea. There's a couple that are jockeying around. We're pretty deep in a lot of areas, and like I said the other day to y'all, as soon as you think you got your mind made up, one of them's got a growing injury and the other guy goes out there. And it reminds me very much of when I moved my daughter, from Gilmer, where she was like she was a really good setter at a small school, right? And then you go to Lake Travis, and there's like 1,000 just like you. And I remember her just the gut-wrenching irony of not knowing whether she's looking to play or not. And I just remember telling her over and over and over again so many things I've told my own players, just play so freaking good that when you go out there, they just can't take you off the court, or they just can't take you off the field. So whenever you get injured, it's the old Wally Pip. You might let somebody out there and you never get your job back again. So I would hate to announce somebody and then y'all feel like, well, that's the guy.
Right.
But then he had a growing injury, and the other guy went out there and he got Wally Pipped, and y'all are looking at me like, I thought you told us this. So that's the danger. And the opponent, there's always that. You don't really. They know all of our kids. We know all their kids. We don't really want anybody to know who's going to be there first, because just for the competitive advantage.
Besides the O-line, have there been any other injuries throughout the week?
Yeah, we've been nicked up quite a bit. We got a lot of flu, just stuff. There's a couple of kids supposed to speak to y'all today. They're sick and couldn't speak today. So more of that kind of stuff than anything else.
Coach, you guys, how ready? What sense do you guys get that they're ready to hit somebody else besides themselves?
A lot. I mean, we're in the dog days of camp, So it's tough. It is. I tell them all the time, that's the great thing about being a high school coach. Even though it's a scrimmage, we'd be on scrimmage too. We'd be looking forward to some opponent this week, which kind of just gets your juices up, even though it's a scrimmage. So that's the mental torture of this. And like I said, it's going to be, we've got 9 guys on offense that are returning for their 3rd year for me. How do they handle boredom? And then defensively, those 6 guys that are returning for their 3rd year, how do they handle boredom? Those other guys, how do they handle all the install? That's where we're still in that stage. Like, how do I get those veterans ready without doing too much, but yet get those other guys that need all the reps they can get ready? Because you can't just take all your veterans and set them down over there the whole time, or there won't be enough for the other guys to get to play, right? So it's always just a fine line, a fine balance. But yeah, my veterans and my coaches don't need to see them anymore, but we need to see the other guys to make sure they're ready.
How do you size up the outside linebacker spot at this point? I know that was a source of competition for the group.
Still the same 3, and we moved Danye over there quite a bit, and we moved Jamal Liggins over there quite a bit. So there's 5 of them over there right now. Obviously, Danye's playing both positions, and Jamal's playing both positions. So still Jamori, Trey, and Caleb, plus Liggins, plus Danye.
Who's stepping up, I guess, to allow you to move Danye at the inside linebacker group? Are there guys stepping up there?
Well, Danye plays outside more than inside, so.
I meant with Liggins.
Oh, I'm sorry, with
Yeah,
Liggins. I'm sorry, JJ. We're pretty good in there. Drew
Yeah.
Proxton's had a really good camp. Martavius has had a good camp. Avery's had a good camp. Caden's coming on. So we're pretty good in there. We've recruited well in there, and so it's allowing us to. I'm sure I forgot a name or two. We're pretty deep in there. In order to move Danye over there, our sound spot's pretty deep.
Yeah.
We've got Pig Cage out there. We've got Cinque out there. We've got Dadrian out there. We've got Malik out there.
Yeah.
So we're pretty deep. I didn't even mention Trevor.
Yeah.
We got Trevor in there. He's pretty good, by the way. We're pretty deep in there. So it allows us, just in case something happens to that will linebacker, we could kick Liggins out there. Now, I don't know if Jamal and Trevor could handle not playing right beside each other. They might have to text each other during the game. They'll be so far apart from each other.
It looked like Jess was doing. You guys have quite a bit of options as far as personnel and formations, just with all the talent. Is that something you guys got to manage, or without giving too much away? Obviously,
it's just coaching. It's just what I told the guys a while ago. That's what coaching is. It's finding what guys do really good, your special players, and get them in the best position possible to make plays. That was not my role, right? My role was to be the role player, so the other guys could make all the plays. There's room for everybody. But the guys that are special, as a coach, you've got to put them in positions to really excel. And that's the greatest joy I have as a coach, is getting our special players in positions to be successful, and those guys trust that we will do that, and we trust they'll make the play, so it works pretty good.
What is it about Jamal's skill set that makes him a potential fit at the outside? What does he bring to that role?
Well, Jamal just knows the defense so well. It's not like you can go over there sometimes and be ready. But if something were to happen, he would at least get enough reps that if we ever had to move him there during the season, it wouldn't just be crazy, right? Same with Danye. We're really hoping Jamori, Trey, and Caleb can get that done. But we're just preparing.
Jeff, next week school starts. How much change is that for you guys? Obviously, the kids going to class and stuff.
Quite a bit, because it's more like you're preparing for Houston now. And the kids know they're going to get Monday off, and then Tuesday it'll be more like what they're used to. Fall camp's over, so they'll be in their normal work week, and we'll try to treat it that way. We'll try to treat Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as much as we can like the game. Obviously, I'm not taking them to the hotel Friday night, but we're going to have a mock game Saturday, headsets, uniforms, all the stuff that just drives you nuts as a head coach. But you got to go over it, or you won't be ready.
And then you guys are going to scrimmage this Saturday. What are you looking to learn from that?
The same. Just get my veteran guys enough reps to keep them sharp, hopefully get off the field healthy with them, and get those finals 2s and 3s solidified in our minds. We got to start making some decisions on travel squad, special teams, and that's always hard on younger players. They've never been left out in their entire lives. The veteran guys all know the deal, but those young guys, it's the first time in their life, somebody's going to tell them, you're not getting to go. So that's always the worst part of my job.
You had, at the end of practice today, Big Boy Challenge. Can you explain that to somebody who doesn't know what it is? Obviously it's a punt to see, but winner gets what? Loser gets what?
You know, I just was winging it. You know, so I've just been doing it a long time, and I just wanted to laugh a little bit. And those big guys always talk crud. Those little guys, you know. So sometimes it's good for those big guys to see what that's like. The stress it put on Brandon Brown and Kevin Davis's face, just watching them prepare for that, like the stress level. It was like they were getting ready for a final exam that they had not studied for at all, right? It looked. And Brandon's a really good athlete, Brown. I was shocked he dropped it. And KD told me he'd catch it. He went full body catch, just absorbed his whole body into it and wrapped it around there. So, yeah, it just got him out some running they were going to have to do just to have a little fun.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
Thank y'all.